All I need is one mic. That's all I need.
Y'all make some noise for Marcell.
To the artist. Don't be so awed by the view from the mountaintop that you forgot how hard it was for you to climb. Before arrogance allows you to call yourself artist, remember that honesty has seen you naked. Naked when your voice cracked under the pressure of an audience. Naked when writer's block kept you up at night. When insecurity and with a former lover's name tattooed on your skin, with peace in your pen, you can still document war. Don't let any tool of industry, any critic with malice in their heart, any pundit void of culture chart the back in which your river flows. Do not let pop culture be your apartheid. You are stronger with options than you ever will be with conformity. Do not rest on what works. Wage battles with the practical. Be the cure for mediocrity. People will hate you once you become powerful if you don't remember your humble beginnings. Remember how the word you spoke almost became illegal. The persecution of your teachers, the vilification of your mentors. Do not play quicksand with the legacy. Remember, people like you got arrested in the Soviet Union, got exiled in South Africa, got stoned to death in Lebanon, was called a communist in the United States. Remember what happened to you yesterday, how they banned your books in Arizona, resisted your flesh in Utah. Lynch mobs have your sweat on their tongues. Don't embarrass the warriors whose shoulders you are standing on.
Spit, poet.
Don't blackface yourself. Do not sample your way into money or applause because that's all that you have left. Remember, you have the power to create something out of nothing, so how dare you make shit with that nothing? When your thoughts become hieroglyphics, make sure your story is worth telling. As your Sanskrit becomes the ripples and never-ending rivers, do not pollute your talents. When calligraphy is the only thing that resembles your name, ensure shame will not hide in the shadows of your history. No assimilation shall hold you. No propaganda will prosper with your breath. Compose prose that can stand on its legs. Write words growing with your nails. Live like you do your words justice. Go back to the sacred land. Make your lyrics a totem, and let your work be the language of the sun.
Yeah.
So I want y'all to put your hands together for my wife. Okay,
Leaving home at 10 ain't no easy doing. Family couldn't afford my dreams, and my dreams, they filled every leftover piece of my head. I knew I was destined to be somebody other than this. And I see stuff. With my eyes closed and my teeth gritting, I see stuff. Food in a box, hot in 30 seconds. Kings slaughtered on brothel steps. Dandelion-haired truth tellers teaching Spanish in Cuba. A deluge in a soup bowl. Small lives holding signs that scream, rescue me. I am human. And I saw my only granddaughter. But you don't know this at 10. Can't figure out how to ask for an unplugged nickel, so you sweep kitchens and scrape plates, or you don't. You settle and you stretch. A white hand settled on your ass stretches the promises. Turns no's into maybe. Hides secrets beneath your left breast with extra pennies and flour biscuits. Believes I love you until it's time to push. Push past, push forward, push on to the next town of strangers pretending the same lies. I met him at church, having Saturday night thoughts on a Sunday morning. Walked in like he owned the building, the land beneath it, and 2 city blocks in each direction. With a lease on heaven and a down payment on hell, I took this as a good sign. Gospel tambourines became something low, dirty, lovely, and wrapped in salvation. Shoulders broad enough to carry my 16-year-old self into paradise, or at least a permanent home. I didn't know that standing still was an option or peaceful until he looked at me and said that his name was Lewis. She was the only girl I told my real name to. Ever see a girl so strong that her neck made the noose untie itself and apologize? You can't greet that kind of power with a mouthful of lies that you told the whole world. She could have stood on my mother's shoulders, one of those good ones you always hear about. My mother replaced the choking, drowning of poverty with determination and resisted pounding my head along the hulls of ships in frightened frustration. Mother avoided harm on her back so that mine would never be bent. Paid for my freedom with her own. Wanted my life thunderclap loud, and at 8, I knew nothing quiets a soul like a bit in the mouth. So she grit her teeth and she did her work. Healed me before slave sickness could take hold. I met every eye in the South with the same level gaze until uppity nigger bounties put my feet in motion. Changed my name as often as I changed states. Cherry picking the Bible for identity and rebirth, as both became useless to me. Before covering my feet in the dust of the Delta, I preached a dead gospel made by a matched set of lies. Knew less and less of what I believed every day, but no one was the wiser. Eyes that don't read, make believe good enough beats best in a foot race. And book learning meant that I was made from God's rib. Standing in a pulpit trying to convince all his children that a sky's reward was better than nothing at all. A hot Saturday night, dressed up as Sunday morning, swung her legs crossed, and I found my way back home in her crooked smile and through the gap in her teeth. That was about my grandmother and my grandfather. Okay. His bags lay open-mouthed hungry on a bed of borrowed sheets. He's on edge. Mind racing to his next performance, this superstar vagabond. Outside his door, this drifter's temporary neighbors climb the stairs. A weary laugh caught in the back of their throats. The echoes of a 9-to-5 life being shed as they walk. Wife shrill with an injustice. Husband strident in the fight. They sound like the day almost won. Jingled keys, sprung locks open. Their marriage prefers this silence in their home knitted tight with freedom. As he packs his pauper's bags, parts of their life leak through the locked doors. He's deciding on black socks and 13-year-old jeans designed to match open mics in his arty costume. Next door, in a world 2 rooms small, smelling of kale, plans, and adoration, wife says something soft about her kitchen, the heat and exhaustion. Husband responds something soothing about dreams, drive, and a past quickly forgotten. The nomad finds his toothbrush lint-filled and holding the smell of cheap liquor and an easily won fan's embrace. Comfort sounds like laugh tracks and dramatic music, fight club and football, songs, sighs, and silence. As fake-tipped hollow points bounce off walls and lodge in the what-ifs of his mind, thighs anxious before a pre-flight walk. He's short on time and the next city is waiting. Behind shuttered windows, the murmur of something long-lasting slides along lovers' bodies. A wife sighs relief. A husband breathes life. Their snores become the call and response gospel of rhythm and reason. His vagrant's bag is packed. He's counting his freedoms, the number of time clocks unpunched. Bills marked payment due won't find his wandering door. Instead, a quick smile in every state awaits him. His half-empty suitcase, run-down shoes, and crooked smile. Head resting on a square flattened pillow, body leaned against the window seat, his flight circles the runway. Drifting into compromised sleep, he hears the echoes of temporary neighbors climbing the stairs.